week just went by.
It's a blur. I don't know. Who am I? Where am I? What's going on? It's all a blur. It's all a blur. Oh my goodness gracious me! There's like 500,000 people here already. Well, that would be nice if it was 500,000
That's
people.
no exaggeration.
No, just a tad. There's a few people here. Let's have a look who we got. So good morning, Peggy. Good morning, Gilda. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Savannah. Good morning, Lizette. Good morning, Anna Marie Reddy. Anna Marie Reddy's a new viewer and has thrown us a super chat already.
Right,
so you get yourself a car. Hello, Yoff. Hello, Susan. Hello, Logan. Thank you so much for the super chat, Yoff. And thank you so much for the super chat, Lizette, because she'd like a card for Ray.
Okay.
All right, then. All right, let me put some thanks there onto here. All right, you peoples are just awesome. Please do share us. We're doing our best to be less of a well-kept secret, and you fabulous, fabulous peeps out there are helping us to do that by, curiously enough, chat like mad in the chat.
Yeah, they like that.
Yeah, spam the heart button at the bottom of the chat, all right? If you can afford it, throw us a super chat. Doesn't matter how much. All of this stuff has a way of tilting the algorithm and gets us new subscribers, because we're doing our level best to be somewhat of a well-kept secret. That's the person who threw us a super chat. So been out of the loop for a while, but now back. Great to see you. It's great to have you here.
Oh, are you our Florida friend?
I don't know. You know everybody. You probably know their sign more than their...
Well, I think she's a Leo, if that's my Florida
there you
friend.
go. That's all. We like Leos. Leos are cool. The wonderful thing about Leos is Leos.
It's been a while, and I know nobody's astrology, so.
What? You lie like cheap watch woman. You lie like cheap watch. So I think people are waking up and starting to join us now. I know this confuses a lot of folks, because like we used to do for the last couple of years, almost couple of years, I think it was, maybe even a tad longer, we were doing Magical Mondays at 12. But we decided to change the format for this year. We started just before the new year. But we wanted to get a lot more in. So we made the show somewhat longer. And so you have to put up with
quite a chat today.
You have to put up with us for longer. But that's but the nice thing, we're still going to do the tarot cards, because people love that. Mm-hmm. And you've got a special deck we're going to do today, which is kind of cool. That's nice. Gosh, what else? So there's the astrological section, and we also try and do a little teaching section as well, which is good. And if you guys have got tips and ideas or things you'd love to see, or something you'd like us to discuss, tell us. Smash it in the comments. We'd love to do that. And yesterday, for those of you that don't know or don't follow the old sort of traditions, yesterday was Hen Gallen, which is the old and new year, so to speak.
The old new year,
the old beginning,
Welsh New Year.
Yeah, Hen Gallen, old beginning, old first, so to speak. So the hen is old, and
the Mari was out and about in Wales.
Oh yeah. For a lot of people, they put their Maris to sleep, but we actually wait until the
Aquarius new moon or the Leo full moon, depending. Like right now, we have the new moons at very late degree and full moons at mid degree. So it just depends on the year, but it would always be in one of those fixed signs lunations, either the Aquarius new moon, which is most likely, or the Leo barren full moon.
Good time for her to go to sleep.
And she's going to be wassailed at Bad Seed Cider, our Mari. We have a real Mari that Sean procured for us, and she is going to be trouncing through the snow at Bad Seed Cider and toasting their trees, and we're going to wassail, and then we're going to have a pancake brunch, because we don't do anything early in the day. We're going to start at noon.
Early's overrated, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. So you guys want to come and see a bit of a spectacle, and please tell your friends. Have we got a price for it yet?
Yes, it's $25 per person, but
and
you
that
get
includes
pancakes
that includes
business, yeah.
breakfast. So yeah. Which is really reasonable value, because everything's going to be organic and yummy and all that sort of stuff. So we're sort of getting ourselves planned. That's going to be on the 25th, right?
Mm-hmm. I see some more. Like Anne-Marie said yes. Okay. So I know who she is.
Oh, well, there you go then. Logan
says.
says, are any magical topics familiar with up for grabs?
Well, ones that would be in our tradition,
yeah.
if you want us to talk about somebody else's pantheon, or like voodoo, hoodoo, things like that.
Not
our specialty.
Not really,
we wouldn't teach that. No, but something that falls within our tradition, or things that we have a background and relationship with, most certainly. But not off the wall. How to do an egg spell or things like that. That's not what we could
we have
really
some
give
stories
any
about
advice about.
We have some stories about egg spells, but that's a story for another day. Savannah says, "Oh, I shared this to my Facebook page too. Please share. We're only a secret if we get saying it." So, you're absolutely right. We are becoming better known. We are. We were on Ed the Pagan show the other day. I think that
he interviewed us for Simply
day
Wicca.
before yesterday.
Yeah, it was okay.
Simply Wicca. Yeah, it was all right.
Okay.
It was all right.
Interesting character, but
Would have been nice to get a word in edgeways.
You mean it would have been nice if you let him get a word in edgeways?
No, me. Me.
You just talked everything all over everybody like you usually do.
I'm always in it. Have you noticed that? It's only the bloody depth that varies. It's just that. You can butcher whatever you want so long as it's not me. That's good. Okay, so now the augury. I don't know much about augury. I know more than I'm going to say here, but I don't know that much. But it's interesting. Auguring.
Yeah, auguring. Inauguration.
It's interesting that an augur also drills holes in things. Ha ha ha. Go put that in your pipe and smoke that for a while. So yeah. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastically interesting. And it's also augurs are actually spiral. Think about that also. So there you go. I thought your energy was great on the Egg the Pagan. Not egg. I am the Eggman.
I thought we did okay. It's definitely, you see from where you're standing, and we have a little bit different points of view. And I think that certainly with the astrology going on as it is, misunderstanding or miscommunication is very high. And I think that we misunderstood each other about talking about the pagan or Wiccan youth, where we had said we were very concerned about them kind of getting misinformation off TikTok, or getting information from people with very low experience,
right,
or even worse,
an agenda,
getting information from predatorial kind of people who would, they could come to harm. And I don't think he understood what we were really saying. He was saying, that we're falling into that pit that all of the elders are falling into, that we're attacking the youth and calling them stupid.
Far from it.
And that was not our intention. Our intention was that of Mama and Papa Bear, protecting our youth from being completely turned off the path by nefarious beings. Right.
For every bit of information, there's a multitude more misinformation out there. I mean, it's not just true of the craft; it's true of everything.
Yeah, there's good and bad in everything.
One of the hardest things to do, and I know this may sound condescending, and it's not meant to be at all, but I will tell you, when I was 19 years old, I was the most immature, objectionable, obnoxious git you could imagine. I mean, Lisa will still tell you I am, to be perfectly frank. Thank you, dear. But I was, and I rebelled against my parents. It's the right of youth. That's what they do. You can't tell me. I know everything. You dressed yourself this morning. Yes, how'd you know? Well, I got both legs down, one trouser leg, kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's Calvin and Hobbes, wasn't it? Calvin and Hobbes. But it is people do, and it's only I regret so much now that I didn't listen to my dad a lot more when I had opportunity, and he's not here now. Because I could have learned all sorts of amazing stuff like astral navigation and things like that. So sometimes we don't realise, by I guess it's part hormonal. It's also very much, like establishing our place. If you go through the development of the chakras, isn't it? Where you get into that kind of solar plexus. This is about me. This is about my space. This is about my willpower, my authority, my being recognized, kind of thing. And that does happen. It's a rite of passage. And some say you don't really understand all this until you've like been through your Saturn return.
You can't. You see from where you're standing, and you're just not in the place to understand what you're.
You haven't accrued the XP, as they say in the gaming world. Not that I'm a gaming world. Oh, look at you go! Laura of the North has joined the Academy. Ooh. You're not going to regret that. You are so not going to regret that.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, hello. Long time no see, mate.
Laura, I have you on the list. All right, I do owe the Academy a workshop. And I'm hoping to do that later today. We're going to talk about an interesting point in the chart that is looked at sort of like you would look at rising sign descending, midheaven nadir. So we're going to look at another point in the chart that's going to be activated very shortly. So I'll be getting to that at some point, and getting that out there. So, all right, because I was supposed to do it Sunday night. I woke up around 1:30 in the morning on Sunday and said, I think I was supposed to do the Academy thing tonight. And it was a little late to go do it then.
Well, not for some. Some people are definitely on a wrong time frame.
We've had a hell of a week, and it's only Wednesday.
Isn't it interesting times? We're going to talk more about that. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Sean. That's just like awesome.
And Savannah,
all right, gosh, let's catch up. Where are we?
Hello, all from Sean, and yay from Laura of the North, and then something from Savannah.
I definitely learn new things while watching you guys on your interview. And while there are lots of fakes on Witch Talk, there are real ones on there. It's just hard to tell which witch is which. Oh, I know you had to go there, didn't you?
I love it.
Which witch is which?
Right.
It's true, because this is what I was trying to say, and it does sound condescending putting an old head on young shoulders, but you need some life experience to actually be able to master the art of discernment.
And we're going to need that.
And discernment is so, because not everything is as it appears. It really is, nor is it necessarily otherwise. We do talk about that a lot. But it's getting to the root of something. And, the teachers that we've experienced, certainly, and it's interesting that the really amazing teachers that we've got, I mean, that's no disrespect to our parents, both of our parents, whom we owe immense debt of gratitude to. But the teachers that we seem to connect on later on in life. When we're sort of ready.
When the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Isn't that the case? Because some of the things, unless we'd, got those things that we'd been exposed to over the course of our lives, wouldn't be ringing the necessary bells for us to join the dots. And that's mixing a lot of metaphors there. Mm-hmm. So discernment is tricky, and certainly with the massive amount of misinformation and the biggest issue with social media, and this is where community is important, because community can be amazing supporters, but they can also be a reality check on you. Hey, what the hell did you read that? That's not how it is at all. And suddenly you get okay.
So I think really what we were trying to drive home was check your sources.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, we might go on TikTok, and we'd be real witches on TikTok, and you could check our sources, but if you don't check the sources, people could claim to be whatever they want to be, and they may not have any experience with what they're talking about. They spew out astrology, and they don't even know what they're talking about, and they're giving advice based on erroneous fact. So.
Well, it's not fact if it's erroneous, is it?
Well, they're speaking like it's fact.
We have alternative facts.
And that's what's going to be one of the biggest things over these next 6 weeks. Are people speaking with confidence and pretending to portray facts, but it's facts they believe are facts. So we're going to have to really bring forward our ability for discernment on all levels. All right.
Lots of people chipping in, yeah. So did say thank you. Let me put some
Thank
thanks
you to
in.
Sean.
Oh, Lizette's also sent us tree turty tree. There you
well,
go.
I put Ray on the list.
There you go. But thank you. We're 5 out of 15. 10 to go, folks. And that
we
really
just started that.
Yay! Workshop. Well, yeah, workshops are cool. We like doing them. We love teaching. We actually do. And I think it's one of the greatest gifts to see little light bulbs go on as people themselves join the dots. I mean, all we can do is be like our hokey tour guide thing and say, just watch out. There's a branch here. Oh. Did tell you, but never mind. Sometimes we have to walk into the branch ourselves. So, Logan, that's why I taught myself how to vet sources. Trial and error was my source. Well, yeah, trial and error works in certain things, mate. I wouldn't recommend it in EOD, explosive ordnance disposal.
Or parachuting.
Yes, if at first you don't succeed, skydiving is probably not for you. Let me just tell you.
All right.
So yeah.
So if I had to liken a tarot card to these next 6 months, I would make it be the 8 of Wands. Whoosh. All right. Whoosh.
Pardon me, my nose is running.
So I have I made my notes and then I realized that this wasn't going to be enough, that I have to have this as well. So it's going to take...
Should we be frightened?
Yes, actually.
Oh no.
It's going to take me a little while, and I'm going to try to make it as clear and concise as possible. And if you would like to jump in, could you just touch me before you speak so I can finish the sentence?
I'll try.
All right. I would love for you to jump in, but if you stop my sentence, I'll lose it.
I listen.
Because this is complicated.
I defer to you, and I know sometimes you have to get your train of thought together before it sort of runs off somewhere. And
All right.
I get that. So have at it, and I'll try and be
but
the good.
Really, yes,
I'll
jump
try and
in,
be
but
the
just
good
tap
one.
me so that I finish that sentence and I give you space. No problem.
All right. Have at it.
So 8 of Wands, whoosh. So remember, I've been saying a lot of the astrologers that I follow have been trying to see when we had this sort of astrological energy. And they finally backtracked enough and figured out that it was around 14,000 years ago. Okay.
No, it's just Laura's. Laura of the North, he gets so excited. I do.
Yes, he does. And I love his participation. But sometimes he derails my train of thought. And I'm old now and I can't get my train back on the track.
You can.
So right now, I've put my finger on a spot where I was reading because I knew we were going to get...
You're way smarter than you let people think you are.
So 14,000 years ago. That's a long time. And we know that archaeologists are uncovering civilization from before the Ice Age, right? So 14,000 years is a big chunk of time. And we have that very rare configuration where Mars and Venus are flanking the sun. So that is an alchemy being lit up, right? We could see Venus as one kind of aspect of love and value and softness and that kind of Persephone story of morning star, evening star. And then on the other side that's lit up is this Mars character, or part of your character, the action, the drive, the push, right? You don't have to say nothing. All right.
Your desire to stab people.
Yeah. So right now, Venus, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury are all in Capricorn. So, how we love, where light is being shown for us, where we should take some action, because Mars is exalted in Capricorn, and how we communicate are all in Capricorn. And Capricorn is the old expression of Saturn, meaning the rooted, timekeeper, chronic lesson teacher, right? So the old or the learned expression of Saturn is Capricorn. And they're all across the chart from Jupiter. So Jupiter's in Cancer, wants to be the great nurturer right now and expand our thoughts about self-care. So Capricorn is sort of an isolationist. It sits in the middle of those rings, right? It doesn't necessarily want company. It wants to be the confident, I know everything energy. But it does its research. I'm not putting Capricorn down.
Shrewd. Very shrewd.
They're very shrewd. Okay. So this pack of planets are all what's called the inner planets or the personal planets. And over this next week, by the end of the week, by this time next week, most of them are going to be moved into Aquarius conjunct Pluto. But to have all of the inner planets in Capricorn, because we're going to have that new moon is going to join. So if all of our personal planets, with the exception of Jupiter, that's in that position of push, opposition. We must push for a compromise. This is a big week. But chronic, yes.
Cronus, yeah. We have chronograph. It's all about time.
All right, so Pluto's at 3 degrees Aquarius. It's gotten into that signaling humanitarian age of Aquarius energy, and it's waiting for them right now. They're very close. We've got, the orb, we give a little bigger orb for Pluto, so, we're very close. And since Uranus is in the end degrees of Taurus, all these guys in late degree Capricorn are trining Uranus. So Capricorn is saying, look, we're serious. What do you value? What do you love? Look, we're serious. Where do you want to put your energy and light? Look, we're serious. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to bring into reality? How do you want to act on this? Look, we're serious. How are you going to communicate this to somebody else? How are you going to get this down and communicate this so you're heard for what you really mean? Now, trines are good things. They offer energy. But Uranus, the catalyst of this trine, saying, let me bring a little chaos, panic, and disorder.
It's all got to come out,
right?
Mate. It's all got to come out.
Let me just shuffle things a little bit. That Capricorn, Saturn, kind of expression, a little too stiff for me. So I'll shake things up.
It's going to Yoda your box of Legos.
Right? And it's in Taurus. So it says, excuse me, Capricorn, you think that you know everything? You cardinal Earth? No. I am fixed Earth. I've got the roots covered. But sometimes you got to shake all the dirt off the roots and start over.
Well, if you're going to transplant something, maybe so, yeah.
So that's interesting.
Aerate your roots.
Now, we also know that we have that placement of Saturn in Pisces, tail into Pisces, along with Neptune. And we've been feeling this kind of thing for a year. Is it real? Is it not? Can I make my dreams a reality? Everything is real. Nothing is real. I don't know how to figure out what I'm hearing and what I'm processing. We've been feeling that for a while. Well, they are in water, Pisces. So there's a sextile there, which is to say sort of trining energy, right? But again, all earth and water, things might be muddied up, right? Because you got Jupiter over there saying, I'm opposing this, but it's in a water sign of Cancer. So this first section of January has been that slogging through the mud while time races by, right? We're almost 2 weeks. We are like 2 weeks into January.
It's the 14th today, yeah.
What a crazy slog it has been. A lot of us have said, well, January is no different than frickin' 2025 was. And to a degree, no pun intended, that's true. But all of these things are in very, very late degree, what they call the necrotic or the death degrees, right?
Sounds good.
27, 28, 29, they're going to switch over. And that switch is going to be a switch.
Someone's got to give, eh?
Right? So it's like your train is hurling down the tracks in this one direction, and all of a sudden somebody, all right? And all this is going to move into air and fire. And then things are really going to move. So we need to make sure we have our best seat on the train and our luggage in order, because we're going to take a ride.
Yes, please be careful when opening the overhead lockers, as the contents may have shifted during the flight.
All right. So when we have, so Saturn's going to make its final sextile to Uranus, and then that'll ease that energy up a little bit. But when we have this Uranus-Pluto thing, their dance, it sets off things, right? So Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, humanitarianism. And Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio, depth of soul, psychic energy. And they make these big
ambulance.
Oh, I thought for a second it was something bothering the chickens. I apologize.
No.
All right. So they make these big aspects, right? So a lot of us who are born in the 60s have the Uranus-Pluto conjunction.
Okay, boomer.
Right? Then we would get, from a conjunction, we go to a square, we would get a trine, we would get an opposition. And when these big aspects come together, we see history in the making, right? I know I talked a little bit last week about the fire horse, hearkening back to the last time we had the fire horse, which is Vietnam War in the 60s. Well, that's the last time we had that Uranus-Pluto conjunction, right? Acting as one. So now for 2026 and 2027, we're going to get the Uranus-Pluto trine, right? Because Uranus is going to move into Gemini. It says, would you like me to report on that chaos? I can gather facts really quickly, and I can tell that all these things, all these secrets that you want to bring up, I'll report them.
Gemini doesn't filter stuff, though, does it?
And they could be in two minds about things, but that sometimes gives them a good way to form the true facts. And Pluto says, oh, so I'm going to tell my boring Pluto story, but it helps us, right?
How's it boring? It's not boring.
A lot of people have heard it before, and
it's worth repeating.
Just repeat yourself all the time. But if we think about Pluto, we could think of it as the deep cleaning lady that comes to visit. And a lot of people that had tarot scopes done last year heard this story too. So Pluto comes in and says, you don't need this, you don't need this, it's stupid to keep this, why you got that, blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to declutter, right?
And they come across this quilt that your grandmother made for you, but it's all holy and ratty and the dog has slept on it and whatever. And they take all this stuff out and they throw it in the lawn. They're going to set it on fire. This is Pluto. You're going to burn it to ashes. And you might have like little pangs about that quilt. Like you can't use it. You'll never use it again. So Pluto says, well, look, it's okay to keep your memories. Why don't we just cut a little piece of the fabric that's clean and nice and that shows your grandmother's stitching, and we'll frame it. And then we're going to get rid of everything else. And this might be how we're feeling, like we're making some big choices. I don't need all of this, but this and this is important, right? And I think that that's what this Uranus-Pluto trine is going to do, not just personally, but within community,
right,
and globally. So there's going to be a lot of things brought up to be purged, and then we're going to have to figure out what we value and what we want to burn, right? Do you have anything to?
No, I was just lost
this.
in my thoughts for a second there, because it is interesting, and I mean, I know it's hard sometimes because we all get so close to a situation. I mean, all of us are inherently involved in what's going on. We can't try as we might. I mean, we're very blessed in so much we almost have our own private Idaho, don't we? You know, that our community is this place of safety where you can just go and be safe, for want of a better word, and receive encouragement and practical assistance and all that kind of fun stuff. So we are doing a better job of looking out for each other, because it's almost the antithesis of what's going on with this. It's, you know, sod everybody else, it's about me. And I don't care who lives or dies, so long as I've got my money or my whatever, you know. Oh, you got to do that then. And it's a very sad reflection. And I think for those of us that are more, as Lisa said, humanitarian in our nature. I know people very well, but I mean, I
love humanity. I just hate people.
Well, some people are kind of trying, aren't they? And I do try for my part to be more gracious. I'm trying hard. I'm trying to
suffer fools.
I'm not going to say that, because that in itself is demeaning and condescending, isn't it? You know, condescending, you talk down to people. Ha, there was a joke there. But no, there are so many people who just don't get it and can't get it. And that, I think, is the big issue. And those are the people who become the pawns in the mighty chess game being run by the plutocracy. You know, and it's interesting, the word plutocracy. This means what lies beneath that hidden motivator, and there is a feckin' agenda to it. I mean, and the unfairness of so much, and the absolute patent hypocrisy and duplicity. You know, the standards. It's just. It's bewildering to be part of that in these current times, but it's like we are living in interesting times, and in like the Alexander Hamilton, what a time to be alive right now, you know?
Right.
What a time to be alive right now.
So we know in astrology, we look for empirical evidence. So we're coming to this Uranus-Pluto trine, which we pretty much can feel now, although it's out of sign, because Uranus is still in Taurus, late degree, and Pluto is in Aquarius, very early degree. So it's an out of sign, wider trine, but it's going to come right on. So the last time we had this, in fact, they're going to come together, go apart, come together, go apart, periodically over the next 2 years. Last time we had this was the Roaring 20s.
Well, aren't we there again?
So let's think about that, right? Women were really moving forward, and Aunt Hazel, who was born in 1904, was one of the first women around here to get her driver's license in the 20s. And the Flappers had, you know, they had this
I'm thinking if she got a car in the 20s, man, that's like...
They had revolutionary dress, didn't they? They were wearing shorter skirts, and they were dancing quicker and shaking their booties. And, you know, we can see that it wasn't an all bad period of time, even though it came right before the Great Depression.
Was the pushback was the problem.
Yeah. So I think we are definitely in interesting times, and we can look at that freedom, Pluto, and chaos, Uranus, to see how this Gemini Aquarius trine might offer some interesting things. A little bit of chaos, a little bit of freedom. All righty. So that's just pretty much today. All right. So today,
the story so far.
Today the moon is trining that Saturn-Neptune, so we are emotionally getting attached to what's real and what's not. And the moon is opposing Uranus. So emotionally, we might want to fight back against some of this information. Venus is sextiling Saturn, so that's like a little bit of a trine. So we really want to uproot things we don't value and put down roots for things we do. And Saturn is 1 degree away from its perfected trine with Uranus, its last little booty there.
Is it moving away or moving closer?
It's 1 degree away from perfection. All right. Now, we also have, if we include Chiron, we have a T-square. So we have Sun, Mars, Mercury in Capricorn, Jupiter in Cancer, and a T-square with Chiron in Aries, which means this week Libra will be the missing link. So justice and fairness and learning forgiveness. Not forget. Libras never forget, but they do have the capacity to forgive. So watch out for boasters and exaggerators.
Ooh, who could that be?
Because this week we're going to hear a lot of probably false speech, and it could be in any capacity, right? Even in your interpersonal relationships, somebody may be very much overly confident about something that they don't have a foundation for, but they think they do. Or they may exaggerate things, so part of that is the truth, but part of it really isn't. And all of these planets, Venus, Sun, Mars, Mercury, they're all sextiling that Saturn, Neptune, and sextiling Uranus. So all of these things are involved because we also have that opposition with Jupiter. There's like, whoever's born at this time, it's going to take them a long time to do their aspects because everything is doing something to something else or offering something to something else.
Going to need a bigger chart.
And I think what we really need to do this week is work to remain very calm. There's going to be an undertone of serious anxiety, serious, I don't know how to make a decision because I don't know what's real and what's not. I don't know how to find the truth and the facts so that I can build my decision on a foundation of something that is valid. Deep breaths, right? And be careful with your words, right? What you say can really impact how others feel, and you will not be able to withdraw those swords, right? But we definitely have that crazy 8 of Wands energy. So again, when we get to the 16th, all of the inner planets, except Jupiter, will be pushing towards Pluto and Aquarius. They're all in that N degree. And then when we get to the new moon comes in and says, all right, Venus, Sun, Mars, Mercury, Moon, all of us are here now, except for Jupiter, which is pushing across the chart, in Capricorn. New moon in Capricorn. You got to deal with it. You got to figure out an intention. You got to plant your seed for this year, right? So the new moon in Capricorn is at 28 degrees, which is a 1. So it wants us to start something. And I wrote down, like, this is your last chance to truly set a seed, to truly execute a plan. If you do nothing and ignore this new moon, even if all you can do is write down an intention, but if you do nothing and ignore this new moon, you might as well just be on the train going to nowhere.
I'm on a road to nowhere,
right?
Talking heads.
But we can truly feel this Saturn-Neptune energy. And then on the 17th, Venus moves on into Aquarius to come together with Pluto. Now, what do you love and what do you hate? What do you value? What do you want to get rid of? Right? There's just like all this last bit of energy in that water earth slog. And when we think about the outer planets that are then going to start seriously moving into air and fire, right? We've got Pluto in Aquarius till 2044. Uranus will move into Gemini for a 7-year period. Neptune will move into Aries for around a decade and a half, maybe more. And Saturn, 3.5 years in Aries. The end of this month, we are going to feel a deep shift that we're going to carry through for the next several years, right? Several years. Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto are all going to be in fire and air. Air fuels the fire. We are on a crazy 8 of Wands trip for the next few years. And I'm sure we can all feel that undertone now of this kind of seesawing between I'm stuck, earth and water, and I'm being propelled forward, air and fire. And, that hurry up and wait.
Yeah, there is a tension, isn't there? And it's palpable. It's almost like, I know you mentioned like at the back end of last year about the slingshot being drawn back,
Mm-hmm.
the crossbow
and now
being
we're
pulled,
just
or the bow
about,
being to release the arrow kind of thing.
All right. So, if Capricorn was the rooted, chronic lesson teacher, old face of Saturn, Aquarius is the karmic, innovative, new face of Saturn. So all those rat pack of planets are going to move. On the 19th, the Sun is going to move into Aquarius. Prior to that, Venus moved into Aquarius. Mercury, moving very quickly, will move into Aquarius.
Early into Aquarius this year.
The 19th, yeah. It can be.
Yeah.
And it could be as late as like the 22nd. Mercury, that moves very quickly, is going to move past Mars into Aquarius, and then Mars will move into Aquarius. So they're all going to have to face Pluto. Pluto, Hades, right? If we look at the Malkuth meditation that involves Persephone, right? Persephone, she goes to the underworld with Pluto while Demeter searches for her and the world is barren. When we take that Malkuth meditation, thank you, Dolores, and
those who are remembered
many blessings to Dolores Ashcroft-Nowicki, who passed away last week. If we take that Malkuth meditation, when we get to Hades, he brings us to this place, and we think that he has a picture on the wall. But what he does is unveil a mirror, and we have to face ourselves and see who we see, right? So Pluto is there in Aquarius, representing humanity, or how you treat your human self. And here comes Venus, Mars, Mercury, Sun, and the Moon. So all of these inner planets that govern how we think, how we feel, how we speak, how we act, they're all going to have to face Pluto, Hades, themselves. So those of us on a spiritual path might have a little easier time because we've all worked so hard to first know thyself.
Yeah, well, it can be painful.
But the muggles and people in more muggle walks of life may really have some rude awakenings, right? From all the things that are going to come down.
it's really chuffing hard to admit you got it wrong. And yet there has to be that admission. You know, you cannot fix a problem until first you accept there is a problem, and secondly you identify exactly what it is. Otherwise you're just prevaricating the situation, aren't you? Nothing's going to get better.
So here are some words that I wrote down that really are going to govern from now till April. Revolution.
What goes around comes around.
Evolution. Devolution. Dissolution. So there is a huge shift that's going to govern the next period of time. It's a push, a need for change. By the 20th, we're going to be well into our peak into the future of the age of Aquarius. I expect some radical, revolutionary information and change. I expect big changes with financial markets, things like that. And I can't say they'd all be bad because we do have sextile and trine energy supporting this shift. I think we're going to see humanitarian things shifting, earth care shifting, right? We've got that Jupiter in Cancer. It says, look, if you don't take care of the planet, you're not going to have a place to live. But it's big stuff, people. It is really big stuff.
Pardon me, is it okay if I speak?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for letting me get that out, because
No.
it's all like intertwined and woven together and complicated.
I'm really hoping that what we're experiencing in these interesting times are the death throes of late-stage capitalism.
Oh, I believe so. That's Capricorn.
And the death throes of late-stage capitalism, where, it was perverse, but now it's completely obscene. It's obscene that, money is far more important than somebody's life, and it's not. It is not. But just we need to wake the F up, people. We all poop out the same hole. We all breathe the same air.
All this energy in Aquarius is going to stand up for humanity, and humans are going to stand up for each other. I really believe
that's the thing about community.
We're going to need community more than ever.
This is there's that, for those of you that follow Welsh mythology, and quite a lot of our viewers do, obviously, because that's our thing. But those immortal words that are uttered by Ben de Gaidfran, Avo ben byd bont, he, she, they who would be a leader must first be a bridge. And we've had the absolute antithesis of this, haven't we? We've had let's divide, let's separate, let's scapegoat people, let's point that over there. And meanwhile, what you're not noticing is, I'll just take all of this here. Here, look at that bastard who's stealing 3 of your crumbs off your cookie, but I've taken the entire biscuit factory. I've taken it and it's now mine, and there's nothing you can do about it. And this obscenity has to end, because it's not sustainable. There's a point where it does spark things like the French Revolution, where let them eat cake. That worked out well for her in the end, didn't it?
Well, we do have that is coming July 4th.
Yeah.
We have that exact Uranus transit. You can't make this shit up.
You can only fool the people for so long before the gilding falls off the veneer, before you start to see that this is nothing more than a glamour. That in the cold light of day, when the elements of air and fire come prominent.
Let's think about Pluto's track, right? Pluto in the 50s was in Leo, and television got invented. Pluto in the 60s was in Virgo, and that whole generation needs therapy. Now we move a little along to Pluto in Sagittarius, and the Earth got smaller. We had the World Wide Web. Pluto in Capricorn.
intertubes
We've been
invented
dealing
by Al
with
Gore.
Pluto in Capricorn, and we had Euro and Bitcoin and bank disruptions and bailouts and all that kind of stuff that had to do with finance. And now we're experiencing Pluto in Aquarius, so there is going to be some shift in humanity.
Just now, couldn't come soon
on the
enough
other side of this is like true astrology, where I'd focus more on the inner planets, and I do respect the medieval astrologers who don't go past Saturn, but there is some stuff going on past there that's valid, and that's why I include the outer planets because they're more generational.
Bob would take issue with you, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he always used to. Yep, we'd have a little tete-a-tete there.
What is that? What are you talking about? Never heard of it.
Other things are happening. Uranus says expect the unexpected in Gemini, right? So Uranus is like lightning, and I'm going to get woo-woo on you now. Lightning and solar flares and that kind of expect the unexpected. And Gemini is communication. So we could very well see some sort of pileup of satellites and space debris.
It's happening already. They're actually, a lot of Elon's constellations are now in trouble and banging into each other.
Right. We could see a solar flare that wiped out the internet in a space.
Could wipe out a lot more than the internet.
We could see a purposeful blackout for political or tactical. I'm just saying. We don't know what's coming, but it's going to be big, and it's going to be a shift. And I don't mean to get all woo-woo, but that is part of what we could expect.
There is a concerted effort to control the narrative.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the acquisition of media companies, and who's been bought by who, and who's silenced who, and who's muzzled who, and it's rights are funny things. You either use them or they go away. And you have to understand at the moment the erosion of the First Amendment rights. It's happening, people. It's happening. And there will be, I believe, I hope, I sincerely hope, but you told me for my horoscope for this month, my tarot.
Get rid of hope and know.
Know that will be the case. Know that the falsehood will collapse under its own weight. The tower. I mean, the last, I don't know how many moons that we had going through there is a clear, omen to somebody,
right,
or
the
those that would control
degree,
the narrative. The falsehood will collapse under its own weight. Our effing press need to do its job, and do its job without fear or favour. And that's tricky.
So Laura's saying that she's been watching Louise Hay to keep her vibe up. Thank you for reminding me. It is so important not
thank you for the super chat.
to lower yourself.
Yeah.
Right? If anytime you go out on doom scroll,
Well, you're looking at control narrative.
Doom scroll Facebook, or all these crazy videos on YouTube or the news or whatever, it is set to control, make you afraid, make you
disempower
toe the
you.
line. Yes. So now more than ever, 14,000 years, we are living in a completely different space. We need to pause and breathe peace. And I put that on my Facebook today. I said, breathe peace. Hold the light, right? So anytime you feel that anxiety, stop. Take a deep breath and say, I'm raising my vibration, raising my vibration. Let yourself see little droplets of pranic energy. Feel it in your heart center. Know it in your mind. Carry the awen, be the light. And you don't, stillness is not illness. You don't have to react to everything.
Definitely respond though.
But you can take your time for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I wanted us to think about these two energies, Capricorn and Aquarius, right? So I want to think about 2025 and all that end of Pluto in Capricorn. And when it tipped into Aquarius. We saw a little bit of that AI business, and then it went back into Capricorn. And we heard about Bitcoin and blah, 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 and then it went, So there's that shedding of skin. So I'm wondering if I could put you on the spot.
You can put me on the spot. Oh no.
To read. And I'd like us to think about 2025, Year of the Snake.
I got to read a poem at the start because this is so important. So, these are the cards we're going to use today, isn't it? Animal medicine cards. They are so beautiful. They really are. There's such lesson we can learn from Lisa if we have the eyes to see. Snake, come crawling. There's fire in your eyes. Bite me. Excite me. I'll learn to realize. The poison transmuted brings eternal flame. Open me to heaven to heal me again. Snake medicine people are very rare. Their intuition involves experiencing and living through multiple snake bites, which allow them to transmute all poisons, be they mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional.
Think about 2025.
The power of snake medicine is the power of creation, for it embodies sensuality, psychic energy, alchemy, reproduction, and ascension, or immortality. The transmutation of the life-death rebirth cycle is exemplified by the shedding of a snake's skin. It's interesting we're talking about it with lobsters as well, that exoskeleton kind of thing. It is the energy of wholeness, cosmic consciousness, and the ability to experience anything willingly and without resistance. It is the knowledge that all things are equal in creation, and that those things which might be experienced as poison can be eaten, ingested, integrated, and transmuted if one has the proper state of mind. Tahote, the Atlantean, who later returned as Hermes and was the father of alchemy, used the symbol of two snakes intertwining around a sword to represent healing. Complete understanding and acceptance of the male and female within each organism creates a melding of the two into one, thereby producing divine energy. This medicine teaches you on a personal level that you are a universal being. Through accepting all aspects in your life, you can bring about the transmutation of the fire medicine. This fire energy, when functioning on the material plane, creates passion, desire, procreation, and physical vitality.
Right, so if you think about it, we've been working for that whole cycle, 2025, to get out of the old skin.
On the emotional plane, it becomes ambition, creation, resolution, and dreams. On the mental plane, it becomes intellect, power, charisma, and leadership. When this snake energy reaches the spiritual plane, it becomes wisdom, understanding, wholeness, and connection to Great Spirit. If you've chosen this symbol, there is a need within you to transmute some thought, action, or desire.
You don't have to read divinatory.
All right, so that the wholeness may be achieved. This is a heavy magic, but remember, magic is no more than a change in consciousness. Become the magician or the enchantress, transmute the energy, and accept the power of fire.
All right, so that is what we've dealt with all of 2025. And now...
Ho, ho!
Now Pluto is gonna move into Aquarius. We're coming into the age of Aquarius. We have this horse energy. And before we go any further, let's think about how animals have been revered in astrology, the zodiac, in worship, right? We have these anthropomorphic, what?
You just mentioned Aquarius.
Oh, the lightning bolt. Yeah.
I'm looking at it, guys.
The backs of the cards. All right.
Yeah.
See, now I don't know what I said.
Whoa, no. I keep talking. You get back to it.
It's okay. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. And let's think about sovereignty, horse. Let's think about how different cultures revered animals. Native Americans certainly revered animals. They were magical. They could fly. They could live underwater. They could live under the ground, right? The zodiac was created in Chinese folklore around animals. Even our Western astrology, some of the signs are animals. The ones that aren't are the air signs. Aquarius, man. Libra, the scales, and Gemini, the twins.
Interesting.
All right. So here we're coming into this big push of air and fire. Here we're coming into the year of the fire horse. Here we have all these shiftings of planetary energy, the outer planets from water and earth into air and fire. And now let's hear horse medicine that we're going to ride for this next year.
Interesting. Mammals and reptiles and oviparous and viviparous, and you get, my head is just going like ooh, all over the place. So horse, mighty horse. Go on, you can hold the card so I don't lose my place again. Mighty horse, power to run across the open plains, or bring the vision of the shields dancing in purple dream rain.
Communication link, right?
All right. Horse, power is the key word. Stealing horses is stealing power was a statement made frequently in historical Native America, and a reference to the esteemed role which horse played in the native cultures. Horse is physical power and unearthly power. In shamanic practices throughout the world, horse enables shamans to fly through the air and reach heaven. Pegasus, the winged horse. Humanity made a great leap forward when a horse was domesticated, a discovery akin to that of fire. Before horse, humans were earthbound, heavy-laden and slow creatures indeed. Once humans climbed on horses' back, they were free and fleet as the wind. They could carry burdens for great distances with ease. Through their special relationship with horse, humans altered their self-concept beyond measure. Horse was the first animal medicine of civilization. Humanity owes an incalculable debt to horse and to the new medicine it brought. It would be a long walk to see one's brother or sister if horse had not welcomed the two-legged rider upon its back. Today we measure the capacity of engines in the term of horsepower, a reminder of the days when horse was an honoured and highly praised partner with humanity. Dreamwalker, a medicine man, was walking across the plains to visit the Arapaho Nation. He carried with him his pipe. The feather tied into his long black hair pointed to the ground, marking him as a man of peace. Over the rise of a hill, Dreamwalker saw a herd of wild mustangs running toward him. Black Stallion approached him and asked if he was seeking an answer on his journey. Black Stallion said, "I am from the void where the answer lives. Ride on my back and know the power of entering the darkness and finding the light."
Oh dear. They're stuck.
Yes, they are.
Oh dear.
Profoundly. Dreamwater thanked Black Stallion and agreed to visit him when his medicine was needed in the dream time. Yellow Stallion approached Dreamwalker next and offered to take him to the east where illumination lives. Dreamwalker could share the answers he found there to teach and illuminate others. Once again, Dreamwalker thanked Yellow Stallion and said he would use these gifts of power on his journey. Red Stallion approached,
which is kind of where we're
rearing playfully. He told Dreamwalker of the joys of balancing work and heavy medicine with the joyful experience of play. He reminded Dreamwalker that he could better hold the attention of those he taught when humour was integrated with the lesson. Oh, well, I'm not totally useless then. Dreamwalker thanked him and promised to remember the gift of joy. The gift of joy? You ask, where's my joy?
I need my joy back.
Well, let's just grab it.
Let's find it on this horse's back.
Yes. Dreamwalker was nearing his destination. The Arapaho Nation was now close at hand. White Stallion came to the front of the herd. Dreamwalker mounted White Stallion's back. White Stallion was the message carrier for all the other horses and represented wisdom in power. The magnificent horse was the embodiment of the balanced medicine shield. No abuse of power will ever lead to wisdom. I'm going to say that again. No abuse of power will ever lead to wisdom, said White Stallion. You, Dreamwalker, have made this journey to heal a brother in need, to share the sacred pipe, and to heal the Mother Earth. You have the knowledge through humility that you are an instrument of great spirit. As I carry you upon my back, you carry the needs of your people, of the people on yours. You carry the needs of the people on yours. In wisdom, you understand that power is not given lightly, but awarded to those who are willing to carry responsibility in a balanced manner. Hold on. Stealing horses is stealing power. I had to go back there. Dreamwalker, the shaman, who had been healed by the visit of the wild horses, and knew that his purpose in coming to the Arapaho was to share these gifts with them. In understanding the power of horse, you may see how to strive for a balanced medicine shield. True power is wisdom found in remembering your total journey. What have you, child of promise? Where did you come from? Wisdom comes from remembering pathways you have walked in another person's moccasins. Compassion, caring, teaching, loving and sharing. Your gifts, talents and abilities are the gateways to power. Oh, wow.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So I just wanted to make sure we knew what was happening there.
Guess what we're going to be using for readings today?
All right. Now, you're not necessarily going to get a reading. You're going to kind of get an assignment, because you're going to have to figure out why you got this medicine. So what's happening there?
Laura of the North wants to know the name of this deck and book in chat. Medicine cards. I believe we have them.
We have them in stock, I believe. They're Jamie Sands. Hannah used to read with them. This is my niece's deck. They've been around a very long time.
They are, yeah. But that doesn't make them. See, now here's the thing: the new website, which I'm currently heavily involved in nailing together.
We'd be able to click buy it here.
See, there you go. There's the link. Bam! You got it right now.
All right. So
we're trying to do that. But anyway, if you want them, give the caller store.
Give the call a store.
Give the caller store. Do it right now. 845-255-5756. I know we've got some.
So what I'm going to do is hold these out. He's going to pick, and then that's your medicine to help you through this week. So do your research. You can meditate to the animal. You can think about how the animal lives, what the animal eats, how they mate, all that kind of stuff. You can think about whether they fly or live underwater, under the earth, or off the land. You can think about whether they're a vegetarian or whether they eat other animals. And you could look up what their message or medicine is. All right, so Peggy.
Keep the chat going, people, and mash that heart button and super chats and all that fun stuff. Come on, don't forget. I know you're enraptured, but come on. Peggy. I got to pick that one for Peggy. This is your own. You get fox, you sly little bugger.
All right. So think about the fox.
Oh, I love foxes. Can I do a little anecdotal tale? Tiny one, teeny one.
Well, very quickly.
It was one of the most amazing little things I've seen in my life, and this is for sure for real, and you can go look this up for yourself. Fox is very, very, very intelligent. And sometimes when they get bugged with fleas, they'll go find themselves, certainly in Wales they'll do this, they'll go up to a barbed wire fence and grab a bit of sheep's wool, making sure it's quite an oily one, lots of lanolin on it, it'd be good, and they'll hold it in their mouth. And then gently they back into water and they go super, super, super slowly, not to make a ripple or anything. But the fleas that have managed to get on them decide they don't want to be there. And then they just eventually they'll run up right to the end of the nose and just into that lanolin sheep's wool, and the fox just lets it go and pops his head underwater, and out he gets defleed. Smart, eh? All himself. Who taught him to do that? Adapt, improvise, and
These
overcome.
are beautiful. I've always stopped to glance at them, but I don't have those yet.
It's going to be a fight. It's going to be fight over medicine cards.
Right.
We can get more people
Gilda.
if we run out. But they're lovely, lovely, lovely cards. We love them, and there's we can learn so much from our ancestors. Our first
Gilda.
Dolphin. Dolphin's brain is bigger than humans.
Communication. All right.
So long, and thanks for all the fish, eh? For those. Savannah. Moose.
Ooh. All right.
You deserve pretty things. You do, Savannah. We all deserve nice things. Lizette, this one has to be Lizette's. You put it right there. Lynx. Oh, I can see you being Lynx, actually. Yeah.
All right. Anne-Marie.
Beaver. Industrious you are.
Industrious
you are. I'm talking like Yoda now, aren't
Yoff.
Yoff. Also dolphin.
Okay.
Another big brain.
Who's this? Susan.
Susan. Buffalo. Ooh,
that's power.
There's some power.
All right. Logan.
Okay. Hawk. Distance lens enchantment.
All right. Ray.
Also dolphin.
Wow.
Another big brain.
All right. Laura of the North.
Spider.
Weaver goddess. That's intense.
Is it Laura? Just bung this in the chat. We spoke ever so briefly, but aren't you quite into spiders? Or have I got it completely wrong?
Sean.
Rolling your R's and squashing your S's. You also get a lynx, my friend.
Okay. Now I know there's a lot of people that will tune in.
Guys, we're only halfway on our super chat goal.
That will tune in and want a card. So we usually do card of the week. So we're going to do a card of the week. So for people who didn't get a personal card, this is card of the week. Dragonfly.
Oh, I can tell you a bit about dragonfly. You know, we're talking about ancestral wisdom, and we have today. We're sort of like, and we referred back to, stuff that is we experienced as races 14,000 years ago. And we've realised from our own particular work, putting our own tarot deck together, that we need to go back a lot further than we ever thought we'd have to. But the problem is history starts to get decidedly sketchy, because things weren't necessarily written down, or if they were, they've been palooined away somewhere out of the sight. Where dare we be inspired to know these things? So at some point we'd like our books back or our knowledge back, But there's also we have to understand that there's the ability for us to connect to that universal consciousness of ancestral wisdom. And certainly within the more ancient beliefs, and I think the First Nations people, the Native Americans, as we've called them, in common with Aboriginals in Australasia, had got a far more deeper connection to ancestral wisdom, particularly through the art of connecting in dream time, of using inspiration or divination in all manner of forms and causes to actually connect them with what Great Spirit was trying to tell them. And Great Spirit is this huge amalgam of, we like everything else, we personify our gods, and we probably shouldn't do that. But it does help us build relationship. But these are like attributes of like this a transcendent universal consciousness, this
it's the oversoul consciousness of that animal.
Undifferentiated potential, but there's so much there. There's so much there that really we've forgotten, or we're just not paying attention to. and ancestral wisdom. And this is, I think, the thing that we're trying to communicate across to Ed the Pagan when we were on his show. We're not being demeaning of the young folks, but we're all born wet behind the ears.
And I want to just say I have no issue with personifying gods or goddesses.
No, gosh, no, absolutely not. But understand, we make our gods in our image. Not God made us in their image.
Or they appear to us as a way we could understand their energy.
Correct.
But we don't want to go down all that right now.
We could. One of those fascinating. But hello, Cassie.
Dragonfly, that's a good one for you. Okay.
And thank you for bringing me back onto point, because whenever a dragonfly appears, it is said in ancestral wisdom that is a visit from an ancestor spirit. That you are getting, there's a message for you and you need to pay attention to.
Or from other, not necessarily elder, but...
Yeah. So...
All right. So those of you in the academy, I know Laura was saying she's listening to Louise Hay and doing affirmations and that she had brought in the light. There are several really good guided meditations in the academy. And one of them is Healing Alchemy.
It's a damn good one.
If you have time for that a couple times this week, I would recommend that. Understand that things only now are truly starting to intensify. All that we were through last year, child's play. I'm just saying. So I hope you strapped yourself in, fastened your seatbelt, and, if you're up for it, I hope you have the courage for a window seat. But yeah, we're coming to intense people. Intense.
I'd like a window seat at the table in the restaurant at the end of the universe kind of thing. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, no, I love dragonflies too. They're amazing creatures. They really are. I mean, there's such a beauty, but again, there's so many people just caught up in the day-to-day hum and strum of muggledom, working for the man or doing whatever they need to do to try and keep food on the table.
Hold the light, breathe
Hold the light. Realize that you can be a source of joy for others, and that by bringing joy to others, you bring joy to yourself. By passing the light, it doesn't diminish it. It doesn't. It grows, it amplifies, it spreads, it brings light to the darkness. And we are moving from the darkness into the light. We are, the plutocracy, what lies beneath, the mud, the sludge.
I'll report it.
We're moving into, bright...
is this real? I think I can find out if it is.
Doing all right, getting good grades. My future's so bright, I've got to wear shades, man.
All right.
So if you've got a heart and then and you want to throw us a super chat, we're only halfway towards our goal, peeps, and we're doing our best. Please help us be less of a well-kept secret. Share, mash the heart thing. Chat like mad in the chat, folks. Tell your friends. But we're going to continue. I don't care. I'd still stand on my soapbox and talk to one person. I will do that because that one person might make a massive difference in the world, and it may make a massive difference to that one person. I know sometimes we feel like, what is the point of this? And the whole system is engineered to try and make you feel the futility of your actions, and that should not be the case. And it's like the little boy on the beach when all the starfish were washed ashore, and he's running down, like picking one up and throwing it in, and picking one up and throwing it down. And of course, the cynical guy comes to him and says, "What are you doing, little boy? You can't possibly save them all. What difference do you think that makes?" And he says, "To this one, everything." And there you have it. To this one, everything. So
be the light, hold the light, breathe peace.
Light. Spread kindness wherever you can. Reach out to people, build bridges, not walls, not fences.
And figure out how you would communicate with your community if there was no internet or satellite.
Because there may not be. Right? Seriously.
So how will you communicate with your community if there is no internet or satellite? All right. I think that's us for today. We do have some things to do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, well, we got to get busy and all that.
Thank you all very much, and stand your ground. Be careful. Don't say things you don't mean. They'll really get you in trouble this time. All right. Start planting your seed for change. What do you want to look like later on this year. What do you want your life to be later on this year? Get it started, or you're just going to ride the train blindfolded and not see the scenery. All right.
All right, peeps.
Peace. Have a wonderful week. Love you guys. See you again soon. Bye.